You're back for more of His Dark Materials here on BuzzChomp, and I'm reacting to the finale of Season 2, Episode 7 it was. I'm Dan Salem. Betrayal, all around betrayal. Many fans of the show feel betrayed by the manner in which the season has ended. I don't feel that way. I didn't read the books, so I don't know what I may have been, quote, missing. I will say, total cliffhanger, but that's what happens when betrayal spreads throughout our three worlds. Marissa betrayed Lyra once again. I will begin there. But first, the other betrayals. Joffrey betrayed by his very own prophecy. The witches betrayed Will. Mary Malone betraying Lyra because she's climbing a mountain. Lee didn't betray anyone. He sacrificed himself, but it appears as though he will be brought back by the very witches in which he partnered with to spare Lyra in the first place. Marissa betrayed Lyra. And yes, of course she did. She's not a good person. She's trying to save her. And the best scene of the whole show was the after credits scene in which Lyra thinks she's with Roger. Roger is dead, which means that was his spirit. Now, perhaps he's become an angel and that angel is talking to Lyra. Perhaps Lyra's spirit has left her body and is now in the spirit realm with Roger. Marissa, having control of the specters, can remove your spirit from your body. She locked Lyra in a trunk and is taking her God knows where for protection. What an evil witch. She is all-powerful. She's killing literal witches left and right with the specters and just running a muck of power. I said Lyra's going to have to kill her mother. I totally believe it. I also think she's still going to have to kill Azrael, even though he's teamed with the very angels to take down the authority. But this great war, while maybe it needs to happen in order to stop the power-hungry authority from controlling each and every world, Azrael is starting a war. The war is not really going on in full force. He wants the angels to start a war with humanity's power structure, with the authority. And yes, a bunch of humanity is going to side with the angels to take down the authority and bring back free will, destroy destiny, and allow us to be controllers of our own fate. I can't be on anyone's side that wants to start a war that's going to destroy the world. And Lyra, being Eve, the mother of all, I assume that she's going to seed the earth, seed our worlds with life post-war. So that means the only point of her and Will is to have a baby once everyone else is dead. I mean, that's just absurd, yet that would be my interpretation of this prophecy if she is Eve, Will is her Adam or her protector, and they can choose whichever world they want to live in, escape Eden or find their Eden to reseed humanity across the three worlds. Somehow, some way, after the angels kill everything because they're destroying the authority, there's no black and white, no good and evil, because if your good side is killing, that's evil. And yes, there's a time and a place for destroying your enemies and stopping evil with evil. But to start an evil great war because you think it needs to happen, I can't imagine that's part of the real prophecy here. That is Azrael's quest, and while it is altruistic, it is still devious and devilish. The betrayal of Lyra by Marissa wasn't surprising, but I thought Mary Malone was supposed to actually help Lyra, and she's just, la 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 la, I'm climbing a mountain. Come on, this place is, it's big, but it's not that big, and you're being guided by an angel. You should have found her by now. You should have actually gotten involved and maybe tried to help. You're a scientist, and yet you're intoxicated by these flowers and beautiful landscapes. It's like you've never stepped foot outside before or something. I just don't know what the hell she's doing, and I have a feeling we'll find out next season, but she just betrayed everybody by setting off on a quest and then being distracted along the way. The prophecy betrayed Joffrey, the shaman, Will's father, because while he got to Will, he never got an opportunity to actually help Will figure out what to do with the knife and protect Lyra and end the Great War or stop the Great War. We don't really know. And he got a small paragraph of information to his son before getting shot and protecting him. So he did protect the knife bearer to allow the knife bearer to fulfill the prophecy and empower him. And he empowered his own son in the process. That being said, this man is a shaman that controls magic. Why did he not use magic to protect himself and his son? Why did he allow himself to die? Why did he allow Lee to die when he could control nature and the elements and maybe collapse trees, knock boulders over, start another windstorm to try to fight? He betrayed us. as the viewer by not using the powers in which he spent so many years learning and just saying, I'm going to take a bullet. Ah, going out on top. Lee literally took a stand, went out on top. He betrayed no one, and the witches seemed to come and save him at the end, at least our one witch who's still alive because Marissa killed all the other ones. But the witches have totally betrayed themselves and betrayed us because they're supposed to be super powerful, super magical, really, really strong entities. And yet these specters are just taking them down like this. They can't even fight the Magisterium. They can't even protect the people they're supposed to protect. And all they did was cross over worlds. It's not like they lost their abilities. It'd be understandable if they didn't have as much power in this world. But while we were told that their power is stronger elsewhere, they're still flying around. I mean, come on. The individuals with magic are not using it, and it's extremely frustrating as a viewer to just watch people sacrifice themselves and die when they didn't have to because they have magical friends. So Will got betrayed. The prophecy was betraying to those following it. Lyra got betrayed. We didn't really get betrayed as the viewer, though, because this season ended in a complete package, allowing us to wonder what the hell will happen. And I'm going to keep reiterating the fact that I haven't read the books. I plan to read the first book between now and the next season. I am not going to delve into book 2 yet because I don't want to know too much. And I think that they did. They had to end this early because they weren't able to shoot everything they wanted. But yes, we got Azrael on the mountaintops talking to the angels. And while that was glorious, I think it probably was a little bit understated. Because we don't know how the hell he got there. We don't really know what he's after. He told us that he wants to start the Great War to stop the Authority. But these big bad authorities, while we understand that the Authority in principle is bad, we haven't witnessed them do anything particularly bad. I mean, the Magisterium is trying to hunt down Lyra. Okay. But we haven't really seen them oppress their people. We didn't see anybody get oppressed in World 3. We didn't see the oppression in World 2. I mean, if that's to be our world, we understand that governments are oppressing, but they're also helpful. So where is this evil oppression that must be ended? Where is the World 3 oppression? We saw one single city that got emptied. That is a giant world, and there's just one city in it, and the parents are up on the mountaintop. We don't have enough information to understand why the Authority should be taken down, let alone side with Azrael in the Great War to come. Lyra is our hero. Will is our hero. These are the two people we want to fight and believe for. We don't truly know what their quest is. They don't know what their own quest is. And we're just left with a cliffhanger of Lyra in a box and then Roger talking to her from beyond the grave. And tons of people falling short of the lofty expectations that we were given from them. It was a fun season finale. Lots of betrayal. I really want to know what's going to happen in Season 3. I'm going to make some crazy, weird, outlandish predictions like I did last time because I haven't read the books, and so I'm just going to let my mind wander. That will be in my next video. I'm Dan Salem. Comment below with your own thoughts on the Season 2 finale. What am I missing? Is there something obvious that I just didn't see? I'm sure there is. Tune back in, more from BuzzChomp. Subscribe for more great TV, more His Dark Materials, and other sci-fi fantasy. Woo!